I'm going to give you the best advice I ever could give you. You know, there's a lot of advice going on right now. People are telling you what to do, how to eat, and how to exercise, and how to do push-ups, and whatever it is. And one of the easiest things that you can do that will forever change your life, change the way people look at you, change the way people talk to you, change the way you think, and change your ability to explain and therefore to see the world. Because remember, if you can explain things differently, if you can explain things better, it's like having different colors, different hues and different shades to be able to paint better. So the better you can speak, the better you think. And the better you can speak, or Michael speaks, the better you speak is directly connected with how many words you know and your vocabulary. Even the term vocabulary sounds kind of boring, but it's more than that. I'm going to tell you how to change your life in 3 simple days. 3 days, that's it. If you listen to what I'm saying and if you do what I say, and it's the easiest thing, the easiest transformation you can make using the most minimalist of efforts, and the most minimal, I should say, as well. Notice the difference, minimalism and minimal. See? Gradations, we'll get to that in a moment. But I want you to build a better vocabulary very, very easily in 3 days. I'll tell you how. But first, a word from our sponsor. Did you know that gold was the best performing asset in 2022? It's true. Through all record-breaking inflation rates, crashing markets, and crypto scams, there is one asset that held its own: gold. And Noble Gold Investments helped thousands of clients buy real physical gold last year. According to longtermtrends.net, gold outperformed the S&P 500, the Dow, and Bitcoin in 2022. Had you invested in the S&P 500 a year ago, you would be down more than 20%. If you invested in Bitcoin a year ago, you would be down more than 65%. And if you invested in the Dow a year ago, you would be down almost 10%. Yes, gold. Gold has outperformed them all in 2022, and silver was not far behind. So what are you waiting for? Join the thousands of others by opening a gold IRA or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments. Invest with Noble Gold Investments before the end of this month, and you'll bag a free 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualified IRA of $50,000 or more. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments, and there are thousands of 5-star reviews. Now, if you're not ready to invest, download the Noble Gold Investments Gold Investment Guide. Scroll down below and you'll find the link in the description box. Now remember, for mobile users, click the More button to find the link. Noble Gold is who I trust. And remember, there is always a risk of loss, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, let's get down to business. First of all, big words. You might have been turned off by people who use, quote, big words. Sometimes they're used, I think, unfairly to maybe make people feel uncomfortable, to maybe make them feel strange, to make them feel ill at ease, to make them feel kind of not connected. Balderdash, bunkum, hooey. I don't care about that. You can't limit the way you speak and the way you think and the way you address yourself, because somebody may be offended by your degree of erudition and your degree of sesquipedalianism, or the fact that you're a logodatalist. See? Now first, rule number 1, embrace these words. Don't be turned off by it. Don't say, why are you using... No, stop. Look it up. Rule number 1, look it up. Don't ask people, look it up. Look up a word. Anything you don't know. You have a phone. There are, I don't know how many dictionary programs there are on the phone, or have an old-fashioned dictionary. Look it up. Rule number 1, look it up. Look it up. Rule number 2, and this is critical. This is probably the most important rule of them all. Use it in a sentence. Say it. Don't write it down. Don't think it. Say it. But not to yourself, to somebody else. Maybe you can write it in an email. Maybe you can write it in a letter, if you even write letters anymore. Or in a text, but say it. Why is that? The way you remember things and the way things become permanent is how far up the intellectual food chain it will go. And it works like this. Seeing something might give you recognition, might allow you to be able to see it and say, oh, yes, I've seen that before. Oh, I know that. I've seen that person. Versus recall. Recall is being able to independently think of somebody or a word or a fact without being prompted by somebody else. So you want recall, not recognition. Recognition is okay. Great for lineups, but not in real life. So use the word in a sentence. I want you to say it. I want the words to come out, or the word to come out of your mouth. I want you to use it in a sentence. And please get the pronunciation correct. Get it correct. Get it correct. Speak it correctly. Okay? Adjective, adverb. Speak it and say it correctly. So look it up. Number one. Number two, say it. Work it in a sentence. That's the critical thing. Once you say something, once you use a word, once somewhere in the course of your day you have actually said something, it changes everything. It's so much easier. And by the way, the beautiful part about this is that you can be whoever you are. I don't want you to lose anything about your sense of self, your patois, your expressions, your idioms, where you're from, regionalism. I don't want you to lose your credibility, your cred. I want you to be real and keep it real, or whatever the hell people say, whatever that. But I want you to understand that if you use a well-placed word every now and then, interspersed, just peppered, just flavored every now and then, it changes the way people think about you. It changes people. It makes people think, oh, believe me. Now, what's wrong with that? Don't tell me you don't care about what people think about you. I know you do. Everybody does. You want people to think you're smart. You want people to think that you're connected. And you want people to respect you. And nothing does it better than to speak in a way that lets them know, I know what I'm saying. Don't bludgeon them with this. Don't be overpowering. Don't be pedantic or priggish or, condescending. Don't patronize. No. But every now and then. Okay? So you got the rules so far? Look it up. Always look it up. Say it. And number 3, a program. It's very, very simple. A program. How do I do this? There are more word for the day programs that you can get in emails or texts that you will, they just go on forever. They used to have a word of the day calendar, which I used to love. I used to like the word for the day. I like it because it's something I've always liked to do. My mother instilled it in me, and I've always enjoyed it. I've always liked words, and I've liked to be able to use them. And I just, especially words that are rather arcane, recondite, weird, strange. And let me tell you, the best book there is. I have about 6, 7, 10 of these. I have them in my bag. I've got them next to the bed. I've got, wherever I go, I have this. This is my favorite. The words are just, oh my God, they're beautiful. And there's another rule I forgot to tell you. You'll never learn them all. I'm not even close. The greatest vocabulary I've ever heard, the person I've known who had the greatest vocabulary was Jerry Wexler, the great Atlantic Records producer and music purveyor, Muscle Shoals, and he discovered Aretha Franklin. I mean, he was a great friend of mine, but he was superb. William F. Buckley was up there too, but I didn't know him personally, but I did know Jerry Wexler. But this is the book I love the most. Let me make sure there's no shine here. Dim boxes, EPOPs, and other quidums. A dim box, by the way, is a great word. By the way, this is by David Graham's, Grambs, okay? Dim boxes, EPOPs, or EPOPs, depending upon where you're from, and other quidums. Words to describe life's indescribable people. It's wonderful. A dim box, by the way, is somebody who is an assistant. Kind of like an amanuensis, somebody, a scribe. A dim box. Doesn't a dim box sound bad? Does that sound awful? No. But you can use this in the course of a sentence. Not all the time. And I love to go through. There are more words to describe normally the words that we come into contact more. Crazy, obstinate, personality words, and the like. In 3 days, this will change your life. In 3 days, most people, don't worry if you haven't, have never looked up a word. You've never looked, it's never been anything you've even been concerned with. It's like me and sports statistics. I don't care. Other people do. I'm not trying to say one thing or another, but you've got to change that. You've got to look things up. Your ability to explain, to explicate, to limn will change the way you see the world and will change the way other people see you. Whatever life has thrown at you in terms of education, where you're from, how you look, how you speak, if you have an accent, if English, especially if English is your second, third language, a well-placed word, a good one, not to be rude, not to show people up, but to let people know. Because remember one thing, a great line I learned about accents. Fernando Lamas said this. An accent means someone can speak a language you can't. And I'll never forget that. Because when I hear somebody who speaks a language, they can speak something I can't. They think differently. When you speak a language where the adjective comes after the noun, when you speak so many languages that you dream in different languages, your ability to appreciate the world is changed dramatically by virtue of the fact that you can say things so many different ways, using expressions and idiomatic expressions and phrases. The more you can speak, the more you can describe, the more words in your palette. Remember when you were a kid, I don't know about you, but we used to love to color. Coloring was great. And we had the Crayola crayons. Binney and Smith, remember that? You had the little box. And then, maybe you'd get that big box with the lid and the sharpener and all these colors. You had 4 or 5 different types of green. Green and olive and forest and my worst vocabularies, by the way, my worst is that involving colors. Teal and periwinkle, mauve. I don't know. In fact, go to a paint store, like a Sherwin-Williams paint store. Look at those swatches. Look at all the names they have for white, off-white, eggshell, whatever. It's fascinating just describing white or green or blue. The more words you know, and the differences between the words, the gradations, that's interesting. To laugh, to mock, to chide, to insult, giggle, cachinnate, chortle, all of these involve various degrees of laughter, but the object of those laughter completely different. You don't want somebody mocking you, though they're laughing. To chortle, cachinnate, to guffaw, there's just, each one conveys something different. I'm not going to mention this now, but even sometimes words that are considered perhaps offensive show incredible ranges of descriptives, though we're not going to do that right now. So just do this. Look up words. Pronounce the words. And get any kind of a program. Just once you get in, just learn one word today. Just one word. Here's my favorite word. Shall I begin? Just one word. And I'm going to give you the actual. And I look up the definition of words. Even though I think I know them, I look up the words. This is my favorite word, and I'm going to give you this one right off the bat. Okay? Okay. Anent. 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 A-N-E-N-T, anent. What does it mean? Regarding, concerning. I'll say a few words, anent the letter. Why is that a great word? First, my favorites, short words. Everybody knows the word floccinaucinihilipilification. It doesn't come up often. The action of estimating is worthless. It doesn't come up. But anent is regarding. You could start off an email, start off a letter, start off a conversation regarding. Because invariably what you're saying is regarding something. Anent the email, anent my response, anent your situation, anent the condition that we must address right now. Anent, first word, and this is the way I saw it. I never forget, years ago when I saw it, first word, what does this mean? I looked it up. And remember this, words are free. Once you take them, they're not mine, they're yours. Take them. And once you learn them, they're yours. They're yours. Take them free. Use them anytime you want. Anent or unent. And sometimes you get into different gradations of, you can say like processes versus processes. Okay, all right, whatever. You get into the mid-Atlantic accent, and I don't want to too complicated. Anent, A-N-E-N-T. You got it? Okay. Now, do me a favor. I want you to put down here and comment your favorite words, the words you love. Maybe words that are overused, maybe words that you think should not be used as much. But either way, I want you to use those words that you love. And why words mean something to you, and why they're important, and why they're critical, and why you love them. And this, of course, is English. That's the only language I'm proficient in. But I did Latin, and I love to hear other people pronounce words, especially slang. And slang, we haven't even gotten to slang. Slang is a little trickier, but I'm talking about legitimate words. And don't worry if they're rare, because the rara avis, the rare bird, knows rare words, okay? So anyway, you can do this. Do not be in any way intimidated by this. It's simple. Look them up. Pronounce the words. Say them. Say them. 3 days you will be completely a different person, okay? Now, I want to see what you write. What are your favorite words? Comment below. I can't wait for you to read them. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the video. Please do all that stuff, you know, the little bell and all that stuff. And please comment as you see fit.